Well, hello, Libertarian Party members. I cannot even begin to express what an unbelievable honor it is to be able just to speak with you and to, in the future, answer any questions you may have about getting more involved in the Libertarian Party. But let me give you a short background on myself first, because I hope that will inspire many of you that there is a place for you to the extent that you wish to be involved, either from doing things here or there as you have the time, or even getting involved at the highest level of the party. As you may know, I am the elected secretary for the National Libertarian Party and the Libertarian National Committee, and I was formerly the elected regional representative representing 9 Western states. But what many people do not know is that I was not politically involved pretty much at all prior to the Libertarian Party. And I've only been a Libertarian for about 4 years. But obviously, I became immediately passionate about the party and our beliefs, and thus worked really, really hard and crazy to have such a substantial involvement, to be involved at the level I am. I probably volunteer about 35 hours a week in addition to a more than full-time day job. But there's absolutely something for everyone. It doesn't require that level of commitment, but it could if you want to. And I can tell you that it's really rewarding. And I think one advantage I have is that I really do remember what it was like to be new, eager, wanting to be involved, but being like lost. Where do I start? What's the structure of this thing? Perhaps you were deeply entrenched in the local or national parties with the Republicans or the Democrats. We have seen a good deal of formal internal party office holders with, say, the Republican Party, for instance, though not always, that see the light, that they no longer stand for freedom, and they come over to work with us. But a lot more people are probably like me. They never really had such an intense interest in politics before. I mean, I had dropped out of even voting, but this idea of freedom and individualism put the fire in my belly. And learning how this whole thing worked can be a whole new eye-opening world, both exciting and horrifying when you see how messed up our political system can be. But that then inspires you to make a change in it. And if you do come from the arena of the old parties, there are some things you will need to learn anew. Alternative parties, third parties, do not operate in the same way. And we love it that way. And one huge piece of advice I like to give, and this goes to any new group or organization that anyone may become involved in, give it time. You may come in with some very definite ideas on how to make everything work, but remember and trust that people who have been doing this a while do actually know what they're doing. And it's very prudent to step back, learn, and watch. But obviously, people do not know everything, and new people will have fresh ideas, but they'll be much better received if the hard work of the decades of the old timers is respected. And at least this was true for me. I realized that, like we do when we're young people about our parents, that these old folks actually do know a thing or two. So soak in the institutional knowledge, and your eyes will be open to things you never knew. You will learn that states are set up differently than you expect. We often think, particularly if you haven't lived in very many places, only lived in one state or two, that things are not done the same way, say, in Washington State as they're done in Florida or Colorado. I remember how shocked I was to learn that there isn't partisan voter registration in every state. Who knew? I never knew that. To you, it might seem strange that there is partisan voter registrations. 28 states and DC have it, the rest do not. I also didn't know how difficult it is in some states for alternative voices to even have access to the ballot. I think sometimes the rest of the nation lives in a bubble and does not realize the battles and fights that third parties have to engage in just for their very survival. Now, I'm somewhat spoiled in Colorado because we have arguably the easiest ballot access in the country, but most other states are not that lucky. In 2016, we were able to achieve 50 plus 1, meaning 50 states plus DC ballot access, meaning that there was a libertarian choice on all the ballots in 2016. We have to continually fight for ballot access, and there are some states that now we don't have it, and then some that we do that were difficult to get before. It is absolutely crazy, the hurdles just to be able to participate in our electoral process. I can tell you some horror stories, such as in Arizona. We have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this over the past few years. I will throw up a link that will let you know where we have current ballot access and how you can help us achieve more. Now, with this in mind, the way the Libertarian Party is set up is through a national party, state party affiliates, and sub-affiliates such as county parties and other local parties, and that is where the action is really at. The party is set up almost analogously to the way the country was originally envisioned. Very little federal power, with the real control and action being in the states, which are autonomous with very few exceptions. Now, we know that didn't really work out for the country, but it is the way this party is set up. And another difference is that we are set up as a distinctly ideological party by design, and this presents a different culture than the old parties. There are also special interest caucuses that might interest you that specialize in certain points of view or methodologies or just common interests. I right now am involved at the national, state, county, and local level. So when you're looking to get involved, the very first thing to do is to get in touch with your state party. On lp.org, and here's a link, this will tell you the first step, how to get in touch with your state party. And if you have any issues, feel free to reach out to me and I will assist you how I can. Jot down my email address and my phone number, which I have up here, and I'll do anything I can to assist you. Or friend me on Facebook, but fair warning, I am all libertarian all the time with little to no cat videos. And think about what you might like to do in addition to the typical or traditional activities that I might bring up. What are your passions? What are your skills? I have a slogan that has seemed to be the theme song for my libertarian activism. Find what you love and let it kill you. For instance, I'm a history enthusiast and a paralegal by trade. I have found many niches that take advantage of my unique interest and skill set. So this is going to be all for this week. This is the task. This is your mission if you should choose to accept it. Go to that link if you have not already and get in touch with your state affiliate. Again, if you have any problems, get in touch with me and tune back in next Friday. We'll all talk about specific activities that might interest you, to point you in the right direction or give you some ideas on how to use your unique skills for liberty. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and have an awesome night. Until next week, bye-bye.